Oh, here's a moderately interesting story that might be mildly amusing for 30 seconds. When I did my job interview at EA, which was my coding job out of college, the question that the guy, like the main VP dude in the group, asked me was, can you make a function that is basically like a profanity filter? So let's say you take in a sentence, and let's assume cat and dog are banned words, and those are not allowed on our internet app for whatever fucking reason. Hell yeah, let's go. Write a string that like detects for them and removes them. That's not very hard. And then it was like, okay, what if? So I did that, and then he's like, okay, what if people start using symbols to look for? Start using symbols to like get around it. So they say cat with an @ sign, or dog with a 0 instead of an O. And I was like, oh, okay. So then you kind of update it. You make your like list of words to look for bigger. And I was like, okay, well, what if they start putting spaces in between it? What if they start, you know, having like cat, but there's a period in between each one? And they would just keep adding more and more stuff. And then you just realize it gets harder and harder and harder. And at some point you have to rethink the entire thing, because the straightforward solution that you would think of for that is not actually very flexible and doesn't work the instant people start getting creative with it, right? So if you think about how Twitch, and for the love of God, do not take this as an invitation to try to do this, but if you think about the challenge of Twitch having filters in their chat to stop people from spamming, or from like saying the N-word, right? People can get really, really creative with that and find, you know, ways to make it look like the N-word when it's not the N-word, right? So, and again, you will be permabanned if you try to do this right now. But it's like a genuinely interesting problem with programming, because it gets way, way, way more complex once you consider emojis, you consider people like putting spaces in between things, rearranging stuff. It's like wild, right? So I thought that was a really interesting question. And actually, the reason he then recommended me to get hired was not because I came up with a good solution for the whole profanity filter. It was that halfway through, once he added like the 4th or 5th complication, I was like, I looked at it and realized, I said, I need to restart this whole thing, actually. And I felt really embarrassed. I was like, oh no, oh, this is bad. So I like raced the whole thing on the board and started from scratch. And apparently that's what made him think I would be a good programmer. He was like, he was willing to acknowledge that his initial solution was wrong and then rethink the whole thing from scratch, which is one way to think about it and go, hey, that's actually an important characteristic in an engineer. Alternatively, you might think that I was a fucking idiot who didn't think to like do a solution that would be flexible at all. But fortunately, he thought I was smart, not a stupid dummy. So that was cool. Like, he wasn't looking for me to solve the problem. He was looking for me to have a good attitude about how to solve the problem, which is interesting. It's interesting. Doug almost cried that day. No, I didn't. It was 5 interviews in a row, though.
Going around the sun again, Doug.
Thank you. No, I wouldn't have done a flexible solution. I can't figure that out. I mean, that guy, he seemed really smart. That's how I hire people.
10
Yeah, and that was the other half of the interview, is he said, tell me happy birthday in binary. He was like, this is half of what we do at EA. Why do you think our games suck? It's because most of our day is spent writing happy birthday in binary.